Hi guys. Oh my gosh, it's such an unbelievably gorgeous day. Oh, the sun's a little bright, isn't it? Hey, Londa! I miss you, girl. Hi, everybody. Hi, Betty. Hi, Adriana. Hi. Well, I'm in Pennsylvania, and for those of you on the... Oh, you're so sweet. For those of you in the Northeast, we got a little snow on Sunday. It's crazy. Hey, Brian. It snowed and hailed, and like the snow stuck. I was delivering a wedding, and this snow squall came in, and there was a few other people who were scoping where it snowed, and it's like, oh my God. Well, today it's like in the 70s, like I'm sweating, and tomorrow is too, and then it's going to get cold again. So I wanted to take advantage of this unbelievably gorgeous day, because every week, you know, I only come on every week. So every week, like, things pile up, like things I see in scopes, things I think of. So, you know, I know. Yeah, it was a heavy duty frost yesterday. I think my basil died. Yep, my basil died. Yep, heavy duty frost Monday morning. So my list keeps growing, and so I have too much stuff this week to cover, and I want to keep my Wednesday morning home baker coffee chats like focused. Right, paying it forward. I don't know about any of you. I think it was early 2000s, something like that. There was a great movie called Pay It Forward, and it was with Helen Hunt and Kevin Spacey, and it was just this amazing film. And it was a concept, I guess I never heard of the words pay it forward before, but they have stuck with me ever since. If you have a chance, see that movie, because it makes you cry, and it makes you kind of reevaluate how you're living a life. Oh, thanks, Adriana. And by the way, Adriana does these incredible, like, I don't even know what you call it, gelatin flour, like, oh my God, I just saw her page on Facebook, and I said, that's you? I mean, I love doing my scopes, because it pertains to home-based bakers, which can be anything from Adriana, who makes these incredible edible gelatin, I don't even know what you call them, to the poppers, to the cookiers. So I get to see everybody in here, and that's why I love it, and why it's rare that I get specific. So go ahead and share this, because I think this is a really important topic, and I know most people are at work today, so they could catch it on replay. But I want to talk about a couple things before tomorrow. So you guys are so good, thank you. Tomorrow we're going to talk about invoices and how to figure out your overhead. I know a lot of you caught my tax write-off scope, and we talked about overhead, but I think I would just want to focus on that. I also want to focus on invoices. I'm going to do another inside, well, I don't want to go inside tomorrow, but I want to show you how to use Excel to make up your invoices, because you should have an invoice, and it shouldn't just be via email. You should have an actual piece of paper. So that's what we're going over tomorrow. So today, there were two things that happened to me this week before we get to the pay it forward. Just kind of, as you get more experienced in taking orders, your bullshit meter goes up, basically. Hi, Sabrina, how are you? Your bullshit meter will go up, and basically you could pick up the phone from an order, not even an email, but you could pick up a phone, and the first question out of someone's mouth should be a certain question, and over time you'll get to know what these questions would be. So I've been doing, I'm good, sweetie. So I've been doing weddings, but this can pertain to large events, and this could pertain to any of you out there. If you're doing a very large event that's big coinage, those customers fall into a certain category as far as the bullshit factor, right? Like whether they can really afford you or not. So I had this woman call. It was Friday night. I don't answer my phone after 6, by the way. That's another thing I keep forgetting to talk about is business hours. But it was like 6:01. So I picked up the phone, and there was a woman on the other line, and she basically immediately asked, I'm calling about your mini desserts. I wanted to know how many pieces you figure per person. So all of a sudden my alarm bells go off. Does anybody know why? So I asked her, she said, I'm calling about a wedding and I'm calling about mini desserts. And so I asked her, are you a bride or a planner? Because the other thing you want to avoid is being used for information, whether it be from other brides or other people who are doing a caterer. She said she was a bride. She said she was getting married in January. So more alarm bells go off, because she was truly a bride and she was truly planning for a January wedding. The first question out of her mouth would have been, I'm getting married, or my event or whatever is January, blah, blah, blah. Are you available? Because at this point, it's pretty last minute for a wedding or even like a bar bat mitzvah or any large event that's being planned in advance, right? So usually the first question is, are you available on such and such a date? So this person didn't ask that. Which sent off red flags for me. And all she wanted to know was how many pieces she should order per person. That screamed to me, someone in the business that doesn't know how to figure that out. Maybe I'm being paranoid, but again, it goes to not wasting time. Okay. You do not want to waste your time on the phone with someone who's just calling about information so that they don't have to do the work. You know how we're always talking about doing the work? I refuse to give answers to people who aren't willing to do the work. If you ask in any of the groups on Facebook and you say, hey, I got this kind of cake coming up, what would you do? I always say, Google and Periscope, or not Periscope, Google and Pinterest are great resources, because I want you to go do the work and I want you to find. And then if you find something you like and you might have more questions, maybe I'll pop in. A lot of people will, but I think I've learned by doing the work. And I think you can't learn by everybody spoon feeding you information. So when this woman called and said she wanted to know how many pieces, I thought that was really strange. And I basically said, because again, it's almost like pricing. It's not an easy answer. There's so many factors involved. And I really didn't want to spend 15 minutes with this person on the phone, because I thought she was, wanted information, because it's like I would have had to ask her 10 questions, like what kind of event, what day of what time of the day is this event? What other food are you having there? Is this, there's so many factors involved that I would have had to spend all this time with this person on the phone. And she was asking the wrong questions. So the bottom line was, I said, you're welcome to schedule a consultation. I said it's a very involved process to figure that out, and there's a lot of variables. I'll be happy to help that with you if you want to schedule a consultation. And she's like, never mind, thanks. And she hung up. I think I made the right decision. So listen to your gut. But as you also notice, I wasn't rude. I wasn't whatever. I just put it out there. This is a lot more involved. And because I try to weed out the time suckers. And another way to do that is by asking for the budget. Hey, Georgianne. The other way is to find out what their budget is. But this person just asked the wrong question. And I had a feeling she was probably another baker who didn't know how to figure it out. And since I had many desserts on my menu, she thought she would lie pretending to be a baker or pretending to be a bride and asking me. So that was one thing that happened to me this week. Another thing, if you saw my naked cake pictures and you joined me on my scopes when I was making that wedding was on Sunday, the day it snowed. I went to go drop it off at the venue, and I get to the venue and I was told, this bride, I never met her. She ordered over the phone. She paid for an advance, no problem, easy peasy, right? She said, we went back and forth on flowers and pricing, and she decided to go with fresh flowers, said they would be there, said there would be a stand there. I get there, and on the table, and this is for anybody who's delivering to an event. Doesn't matter if it's a wedding, it's to an event. Like Kim had that huge Sweet 16 party, and she had to go set everything up there. So this goes for any of you that are delivering and setting up. I get to this place, and I've been to this venue many, many times, and there was a table. First of all, I didn't know where to put the cake because there was food everywhere. There was a table that had 3 broken cake stands on it and no flowers. So I was like, okay, hey Kim, I was just mentioned you in your Sweet 16. So I'm certainly not going to ask for the bride. You're certainly not going to ask for the parents. If there's a planner around, you can ask them. I had never met the bride. I didn't even know what she looked like. So being the professional that I am, I saw, like, I don't know if she was the mother of the bride. They knew the bride. And I said, would you mind finding the bride and asking her what she wants me to do with the cake? Because the stands are broken and there are no flowers. And I was supposed to put the flowers on the cake. So the bridesmaid, or whoever, came out and said, well, the flowers aren't here yet, meaning, can you wait? Of course, the answer is no. I'm not going to wait because it was a very inexpensive cake for a wedding. And B, they wanted to put it on these broken stands, which would have looked awful because, first of all, they had taken plates and put candlesticks on it. It was a DIY stand, which is fine, but the hot glue or whatever they put in broke. Not to mention the plates themselves were concave. So you can't put a flat cake board on a concave plate. So bad planning on their part. All I did was I put it on the table, and, you know, the bridesmaids are looking at me like I am just this horrible person. I received the most beautiful email from the bride on Monday, apologizing about the flowers, apologizing about the stands, but saying the cake was so beautiful on its own that it just stood alone on the table and was gorgeous. So again, that comes with experience. Never freak out if you get to a venue and it's not the way you thought it was. Try to find someone, and not even your client, but someone that looks like they might know the client or the planner or even the venue manager, and ask them. Because either they'll know the answer or they'll know the person to ask. So never freak out and lose your cool and whatever. And Kim, it looks like you had pretty good luck this week with that venue because everything looked phenomenal. So bravo on that. I'm so proud of you. That really came out. And I know you went through hell last week, but it really came out beautifully. All right, so let's talk about paying it forward. One of my shout outs tomorrow, and I'll do it officially tomorrow, is there's a woman out in California. Her name is Alicia, and she owns Pops by Angie. Oh, nice. You had help. Sweet Treats by Alicia. I just found her within the last couple weeks, and I've started noticing a pattern with her is that if someone needs help, she'll, and last week I shouted out Quenisha for doing something similar. Oh, great. Oh, I'm so glad. Well, everything looked beautiful. So Alicia, I noticed this week, she'll do scoops for people. Like if someone has a question or a concern, she'll like schedule a scope to show them how to do it. I've been seeing her all week do it. She's the sweetest. She actually follows me. And she's the sweetest person. She's incredibly helpful and she's so knowledgeable and she just shares. That girl pays it forward. Okay. You don't have to do, and as a matter of fact, yesterday I was on one of her scopes and I don't know if anybody you saw the pictures I did of the cookies. I've been doing this for 13 years and we all know none of us are perfect at anything. And I really struggle with royal icing and cookies. Hey, Alicia, just talking about you. So, holiday season's coming up, and holiday season is when I really like to push the cookie thing. How helpful oh, me too. Oh my God. So helpful. In fact, I've been so complacent in learning new skills that, there's so many things on Periscope. I am like doing those cookies the other day for the hell of it. I never would have done that before, but I want to play with these new techniques and stuff. And I'm just so fired up via Periscope. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I can ask questions. But, oh, me? Oh, thanks. But to see like people like Alicia and other people and being able to interact just gets me fired up more than, oh, you're so ridiculous. Gets me fired up about trying new things. And so I, did the whole cookie thing and I started, oh, thanks. Hey, Nancy. I started just covering them in fondant because I'm terrible at piping, and I realized yesterday I didn't want to do fondant. I wanted to try Angela Nino's technique. Oh, thanks. Okay, so I, got on my royal icing, which I used CK, which Alicia yelled at me about. And you can tell by looking at the pictures, it's like I just struggle with consistency. Not to mention I have a very shaky hand. So I mentioned that in Alicia's scope last night, and she's like, I'll do a scope for you tomorrow. What time is good for you? And so at 3 o'clock, I think, Alicia, she posted all the ingredients, and I'm going to make it next to her, and she's going to show me how to do it. And it's like, that is above and beyond paying it forward. But you can pay it forward in your life every day, and it doesn't have to be via Periscope or anything else. I think, what I'm trying to put across is, we're all learning from each other. And I'm not telling you to jump on Periscope, although I gotta say, there's so many great new people on teaching, new things. I just think it's so fabulous. Oh, yes, I know. I think I wrote you on Twitter, too. Well, because we care. Because you give it to us. We want to help you, right? I mean, that's the whole thing with paying it forward. Anything in your life, a little kindness, a little, anything, it could be your everyday life. And I'm not getting philosophical, but ever since I saw this film, I try to live this, paying it forward. Like Alicia, even though I don't think she's consciously doing it, she is paying it forward. She watches my scopes and she finds them valuable. So she wants to help me. I tell you every Wednesday, if you have any questions about anything business-wise, and several of you have contacted me offline, that's how you get your blessings. People have contacted. I always tell you, if you have any questions about any of my scopes, please contact me via Facebook or email or whatever. And I'm not just going to leave you in the lurch. And I'm not telling those of you who don't scope, I'm not telling you to jump on Periscope. But if you see someone like Kim was struggling, or we all will struggle, reach out. If you have an answer or can help in any way, reach out via Twitter, reach out via Facebook, go into those cake groups. And if anybody has a question that you have an answer to, answer them and help them. And please don't screenshot me. I hate when people screenshot me. No reason. And now I can see when you screenshot, it comes back to you. It comes back to you, and it's not even, it comes back to you in kindness, whether it be directly for, like, if you buy a candy for someone, and I don't know, I'm just saying it's karma. And I am a huge believer in karma and destiny and all of that. And if you pay it forward, if someone shows you a kindness and you show one back, show them back. It doesn't have to be to that person. It could be, comes back tenfold. Absolutely. So anything you can do. And yesterday, someone was in Cake Noobs and they were upset. And I thought it was interesting that they stated this. Cake Noobs is an interesting group. I've come on and off of that group because sometimes it can get pretty rude, but with all the brouhaha that's been going on lately, it seems to be a kinder, gentler new group. So much so that I've really been going, oh, thank you. Oh, definitely. Send me pictures. I'd love to see. But it is tricky. And it's one of those things you're not going to get on the first time. And even mine wasn't perfect. But you know what? It goes with that rustic theme. I tried to make it as good. Help people in Michael's all the time. Do you really? That's so funny. I like that. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, in the cake, so this person in Cake Noobs was saying that she thought Cake Noobs was for newbies, meaning new decorators, but she was very disappointed to see that most of the people in there, or at least the people that are commenting, are people like me and others that have experience, and she was turned off by that. That's great, Londa. I love that. And you're not even getting paid. And she had 238 comments. It's been deleted from the group because some of the things were hot. But everybody's like, why do you feel that way? I think when you feel that way, like you feel, oh, I'm not good enough. It made me really sad. And I think when you feel bad about yourself because you kind of taking a step forward and you want to get better, you got to put yourself out there in order to get better. That evolved from beginning. Oh, absolutely. Totally. Like a lot of people started posting pictures, and I did last week. Absolutely. I tried to help on Cake Noobs Got Rude. Here's the thing about Cake Noobs. I think because it's called Cake Noobs, I think a lot of, intimidated. I think a lot of people who are true newbies, don't really realize, and I don't think I really realized till recently what this group is about. It's a group like pricing questions are not allowed. Things like, what should I do? Or what cake sizes? People just frown upon those kind of questions. Again, it's that kind of group where they really want you to do the work first. But there's other cake groups where people ask pricing questions and everybody jumps in with these arbitrary numbers. Or, people will say, what kind of cake would you do? And people will throw pictures of their cake. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I love Cake Noobs because I feel I can really learn from there. So what I ended up doing, because it seems that the real noobs are the ones actually posting. That's right. And then there's other people, I did the cookie thing yesterday because of that post, because she was saying that she felt intimidated or whatever. So I was just like, there was 238 comments. Instead of commenting and get lost in the shuffle, I threw up these cookies that I did. Oh my God, Lori, it's gorgeous, which is why I'm outside, but only today and tomorrow. I threw up there the cookies that I did yesterday that I knew absolutely sucked, but I was trying something new and I really wanted help with help. I wanted help. So I put these pictures up there and I said, and it was, I hope the person who originally posted in about being intimidated saw my post. I just joined that because of it yesterday. The woman who's in charge of it reached out to me. I know, Kim. As you can notice, things slowly are getting moved off the deck and inside in preparation for winter, which is so sad. But I put my cookies up there and I'm like, I've been in business for 13 years. I still suck at cookies. Please help. And I cannot tell you, there was not one. Thanks, Alicia. I have you down. I have everything ready to go. There was not one comment that was snarky or rude or putting me down. Everybody, there was a few people that were like, I think they're awesome, which is not what I'm looking for. Like, for me personally, I'm not looking for that in a group setting. But maybe that's because I have more experience. But Cake Noobs is an absolutely wonderful place to go. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, if you want real critiques and real ways to get better, post it in Cake Noobs. I posted those cookies yesterday. I got so many great responses from people all over the place with different methods, different things to try, so on and so forth, that I'm ready to go. And then when Alicia popped on last night and I mentioned it and she's going to do a scope for me, I am over the moon. I still have naked cookies in my freezer and I'm ready to hit the ground. So that's a great way to pay it forward. Make a comment that someone can use. A comment, wow, I think that looks beautiful. Well, nice is not helpful. If you can help. And that's paying it forward. That's all I wanted to say. But again, tomorrow we're talking about invoices and overhead. Getting back to business. And I found out some really great news today. I'm so excited. So Cake Pop Con is in 2 weeks in Philadelphia. And Jay is teaching there. And you always ask your dad. And he is coming to town to teach, and he just told me that he's going to come out here for a couple days. He's got a client about a half hour from here, but him and Wayne are going to spend a couple days, which I'm so excited to meet Wayne. But Jay and I are going to do a scope together. It's going to be like our home baker coffee chat, but it's not going to be on Wednesday. It's probably going to be on Monday. So him and I have to come up with a topic. If any of you have any topics, think about it and tell me tomorrow. Again, I have this whole list going, but if there's something, because I'll keep Jay calm down and focused. So if there's something you really want to talk about, shoot it my way. So we got 2 weeks. So send me an everybody's like, the happy dance. I'm so excited. I talked to him this morning. I was like, we are going, no, cover your damn board. Yes. I'm coming up with a new thing. His is cover your damn board. You can't have more than one saying. So mine is do the work. WURK, because after working with him and my whole career, it's because I did the work. And I find so many people out there who are just asking questions because they don't want to do the work. The only way to learn is do the work. Look at me with the cookies. The only way I'm going to learn is not only to learn from Alicia a good recipe, but I got to practice with that damn piping bag. I'm not coming to Cake Pop Con because I'm not a popper and it would cost a fortune. And they didn't have the opportunity, which I was upset about. Like the cake shows, you could just buy a ticket. Like Cake Fest is $18 for the ticket, and you could just roam the floor. Cake Pop Con does not allow that. You have to buy in if you want to even get on the floor. So I'm upset because there's some people I wanted to meet that were going. Speaking of which, live and learn and then buy. I'm way out of the baby phase, honey. Cam, come to Cake Fest, Louisiana in April. I'm going to Cake Fest, LA, Louisiana. I think I'm going to go to the National Capital Area Cake Show because that's like a 2-hour drive from here. What was I saying? Oh, so Cake Pop Con won't let you go. You are? You're coming to, which one? You're coming to Cake Fest? Yay! I'm so excited to get to meet Lori and Kim, and oh my gosh, I can't wait to meet people in person. Yay! But yeah, so Cake Pop Con, I'm not even allowed to walk in. So I'm quite upset. Oh, what I was going to ask, Brandy from Painted and Sprinkled. She used to do the nightly chat. I contacted her offline and she said something happened a couple weeks ago. Does anybody know Brandy? Because I know she was also planning on coming to Cake Pop Con, and that's another person I wanted to meet. But if anybody knows her, can you contact me offline and tell me what's going on? I'm just really, oh, thanks. That's just the deck. Oh, she said it was something medically happened, and she didn't think she was going to be back for a while. I just hope she's okay. And I think it was her and not Gabe. So, I know, I feel like you're all my besties. It's like I've never even met you. Yeah, she said with her. Not with, Gabe. She said with her. I know. I'm very worried. Yes. Let's pray for her because she used to come on every night and now she's gone. She's gone from scoping for a while, and I don't know if anybody knows her, can reach out or whatever. Like I said, I've written her, but yeah, so you want to be really jealous? Oh, you're cakey besties? Can somebody contact me offline and fill me in? Or tell her that I'm thinking about her, please? I don't need to know specifics. If she wanted me to know specifics, she would have told me herself. So, anyway. So yeah, that's my deck. Here, I'll show you. So that's my deck. And I have to turn you around. Just because it's a beautiful day and it's probably the last time I'm going to be... Oh, that's a pool. We moved in here 2 years ago, and so that's a pool. And then we have, this is so weird. We have like an acre yard. See, in Pennsylvania, it's not uncommon to have an acre, and it's just lawn. It's ridiculous. All I do is mow the lawn. Sure, come on, Alicia. Come on over. We moved here to get into the school district for my daughter, so we're going to be selling in a few years. But I'm going to miss that pool. Anyway. 45 minutes west of Philadelphia, and that's why I'm so disappointed about Cake Pop Con. Because it's like 45 minutes away, but I can't even go. Altoona, that is near Pittsburgh, I think. That's about 4 or 5 hours from me. Yeah, it's too much house. There's only 3 of us living here, but it had been vacant for 2 years. Oh, Pottstown, that's right up the road. I'm in Glenmore. Yeah, I know where Pottstown is. It has to do with you're in California and I'm in Pennsylvania. What's not like the cake shows? Oh, Cake Pop Con? Well, obviously not if there's not a Florida walk. It seems to be more of a conference than a show. And a lot more money. And you're kind of really, you have to do certain things. I don't know. When I found out, South Bend. Where's South Bend? Phoenixville, I know that too. Wow, you're a local. Where are you now? It's like a conference, yeah. Oh, Indiana. Yeah. Which I think is disappointing, because was CookieCon like a conference? It seemed more like a cake show with a lot of classes. I think it's really disappointing. I think Cake Pop Con, they should have done more like a cake show where it's classes, there's a floor, there's, you know, for places for people to get together, that there's a lot of options. You could take classes, or you could just get in to walk the floor and meet people and see the demos. But by doing it the way they did it, it really, I'm sure they have classes, but you can't even get in. You have to pay the whole fee, which is a lot, to even walk in the door. So I just hope, and I think they did it last year too, but I hope in the future they go forward and do it more like a cake show where there's more options for people of all, because I think it was like $450 or something, and I don't even pay that much on cake shows. Oh, really? Well, and I think they also include food, which I'm not interested in that. Like, there's no options. It's either you're all in or nothing. They give you absolutely no option. And I understand that in the corporate world, but in what we do, I don't think it's, I don't agree with that. But I think those who are poppers are really, really happy. You're going to LA Cookie Con and Sweet Show. Oh, that'll be fun. See, I think the shows are fun. You're in California. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm sure those of you who are poppers are so thrilled that there's a conference just for you guys, but I think it would have been great. Camp Hill. That sounds familiar. I'm 45 minutes like due west of Philadelphia on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. A lot of cake poppers don't think the same. Meaning they want the conference sort of thing and not a show. See, I don't know. I just think, like, if it was a show, I would go. And I probably would take a class or two, but because it's all inclusive, I'm not interested. So, I mean, even the cake conferences, yes, they're costing me a lot more, but that's because of the classes. And I guess it's more a la carte. I like a la carte versus a price fixed menu, if you want to make the comparison. Sandra, are you saying the poppers are happy that it's a conference type thing, like an all-inclusive? I'm just saying from my standpoint, I would have really liked to attend, but it just was too cost prohibitive. I mean, I would have liked to gone down, you know, bought a ticket, go down for a few hours, see the demos, and visit vendors, but it wasn't an option. Oh well, maybe poppers are